video series. This one's gonna be a good one. This is a car I've been looking forward to get for a while, and you guys have been asking for it for a while. This is the 2022 Hyundai Tucson N-Line, and it's essentially an appearance package with some options. It's probably the one I would buy. We'll talk about if that's a good idea or a bad idea. All right, so here's how this works. We do a live video every single weekday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. And if you're just watching us and you're not live with us right now, feel free to skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. At the 3-minute mark, we'll get going on the content you want to see. In the meantime, we'll talk about some news and some notes. And if you still want to stick with us for a second, you'll also figure out how to join us live. We'll show you that right now. So let's flip the camera around here, and hopefully everybody had a nice weekend. Kids are back in school, I guess, here in Ontario. I don't know where you are. All right, if you want to join us live, there's your Kia Hyundai channel. Go to our YouTube channel. It looks like that. If you refresh that, well, first let me show you this. You'll see our just sort of standard video. Whatever we put up here is our standard video. If you refresh the page exactly at 2 o'clock, which is what I'm doing right now, you will see the live video take over that section. So when we do that, we're going to click into that. You're going to have to probably watch an ad, and in the meantime, I'm going to run a quick ad. There are 3 dealers that support this channel: Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, and Owen Sound Hyundai. If you are in Ontario and looking to buy a car, feel free to connect with me. I'm just going to skip this ad. Feel free to connect with me, and I will help you connect with them. We can be your local dealer anywhere in Ontario, and they will treat you, our team will treat you the same way I would treat you. So hopefully we can earn your business, and yeah. And if you're outside of our area, feel free to watch. Hit the subscribe button if you want, and that would help us out as well. And if you want, you can like the video. All right, so what's going on here? We talked, let's go do a little recap. Let's go Kia World first. You guys were talking about wanting to see the Sorento PHEV. That is coming this month. As far as Hyundai questions, the most common question I get asked is, are we going to see the Ioniq 5? That is coming probably next month at this time. Oh, somebody asked a really good question. Hyundai nomenclature, is the N-Line the fastest one, or is it the N? So N would be their top of the line performance, very much like a track car. Not for everybody, not necessarily something that everybody wants, but very high performance, lots of fun to drive. The Tucson does not have an N model, so the N-Line is usually the sporty package, sort of for everyday people. And we'll talk about why that's maybe different in this model than some other models, but that's a very good question to get off the line at the very top. What else is going on? Santa Cruz, we're going to have more of some of them. We should have a limited model in very soon. Kia, we just got a Kia Carnival EX Plus. We'll probably put that on video tomorrow. So inventory is tight, and when I get cars, I will do what I can. So if you're a regular with us, feel free to hit that like button right now. We're about 10 seconds away from starting the video officially. And we got a bunch of people on right now, so let's see if we can just keep you guys satisfied in about 3, 2, 1 seconds. All right. Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. Welcome to our live video series. This is the 2022 Hyundai Tucson N-Line. And I was just asked a question in my sort of introduction section. What is the N-Line versus the N? So the N is the performance line. The N is the performance section, and the Tucson does not have an N model, at least not yet. So the N-Line is usually a sporty model, a lot of cladding and other stuff. In some vehicles, it has a bigger engine, more powerful engine. In this vehicle, it does not, and I'm okay with that, given the purpose of this vehicle. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend about a half an hour going through this vehicle in detail. That's kind of what we do here. So grab a snack, grab a beverage, hang out with us for a bit. If this video is longer than a half an hour, we've probably gone off topic at that 30-minute mark, or we're just answering your questions. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna answer your questions. So if you have questions throughout, ask them away. Even if you're not live with us, you can put them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them as we go through. And yeah, that's where we are. So let's kick it into high gear here. Somebody says the rims are cool. They really are. We're gonna go through the looks in a second. Before we do anything about the looks, I just wanna show you the key. Very, very top of the line Tucson does have their Smart Park feature where you can move the car forward and reverse on the key fob. Some people have asked if this one has that. It does not, and that's okay with me. I don't know that I would use that feature a ton, but it doesn't have it. So this is your key fob right there. Pretty cool, it's nice and simple, and throw it in your pocket, and that's where I'm gonna put it for the rest of the video. Now let's talk styling of this first, because really what the N-Line is on the Tucson is a styling package with a couple of nice features, things like a Bose audio, panoramic roof. But let's just quickly, before we walk away from my computer, show you where we are in the trim line package, and we'll try to do that right here. All right, we've got Essential, Preferred, and then N-Line. 27 to 37 is basically the range right there, and you can see that. It seems like a big range, but you do add some really nice features in here. If it feels like a big jump from the Preferred to the N-Line, that's because the Preferred package starts at a front-wheel drive package, And then you can get added on all-wheel drive, added on the Trend package, which gives you the panoramic roof that comes standard in the N-Line. So there is some packaging in between this 30,000 and this 37. It doesn't quite do that jump. There are a couple nice delineations in there that get you to where we are. 19-inch wheels look sharp. And then as you move to the top of the line models, you will get a different engine. So it's a turbo engine there, a little bit smaller engine actually, with a hybrid. So those are the real differences. So essentially this is the top of the line, non-turbo, non-hybrid engine, and you get some nice stuff, as I mentioned. So let's take a look through and talk about some of the nice things that you get. First of all, somebody mentioned the wheels. Let's start there. Michelin tires, which is kind of nice. These wheels don't film well from a distance, and even just looking at them, you can really see the bright easy on camera, but the darker side looks pretty cool, and you see it a little bit better in person. They've got some, not really 3D effects, but they look super cool in person. Definitely something that's going to attract your attention. And again, even though they're 19-inch rims, you still got a pretty good sized sidewall. So you're not talking about, see there's a 55, that's a percentage of tire that's sidewall. So it's not a real thin tire. You don't have to worry about, you know, if I hit a bump, am I gonna blow a sidewall out? Big and sporty tires, big sporty wheels, but they are not something that, you know, you can't drive everywhere with. The other thing I kind of like, and you may notice it already, this one's a dark gray color. You have on the lower trim lines, this would be a matte plastic kind of non-painted surface. On these ones, they're painted. Now, the non-painted surface has some benefits if you're going off-road, gravel roads, those kind of things, no paint chips, that kind of thing. But the reality is, for this type of vehicle, you're not going far enough that you have to worry about that. The painted color looks really sharp. And then you pick up these accents a little easier. They're still in that not painted color, but you just sort of pick up those accents. And then as you go to the roof line here, you've got that painted color coming over here, but you've got the black running through here. Kind of gives you a cool floating roof line. And then of course you have the black roof rails, which are one-piece roof rails. In the past, they used to be multiple piece. There used to be a cap on the end of the front, cap on the end of the back. A lot of small crossovers have very short roof rails. A lot of time you'll see them start from the middle, this B pillar is what we call this, on back, and then you can only spread your bars that far. This one you can spread your bars way further. If you're carrying something like a kayak, a sup board, anything like that, much easier to mount on a longer area up here. So you've got that kind of longer roof rail. Panoramic roof we'll show you in a second, which is kind of awesome. Shark fin antenna there. Another couple little cool things out back here, it's just standard on all the Tucsons. The windshield wiper, instead of sitting here and you run your windshield or your rear window defroster and have all that snow and ice melt and sit there, and then of course it refreezes and then you rip off your wiper blade. Instead of having that on down here, it's a cleaner look, but it's also functional because no snow and ice can sit on it. It's actually buried up behind here. I don't know if we can get the camera up there, probably can't. But up behind here is your wiper. There's a way to service it where it comes down nice and easy. And this is all flush, including the logo back here, all flush behind glass, kind of a cool look. We're gonna show you the lighting at the end of the video where these lights will turn on, LED lighting in this trim. You also have a different bumper down here. You've got the parking sensors buried into a new reflective panel. So when you're following this car with your lights on, and you have these lights on, which we'll show you later, you're gonna have some bright red light there, but also a bright red reflective strip all the way across. A cooler looking vehicle. Even little details like this. You've got your diffuser down low. That's what they're called, the sort of slots right there. Dual exhaust off to the right side. But in that diffuser, it's kind of echoed on the spoiler up top here, where you've got more areas right there. So overall, this thing is very interesting to look at. We'll go around the front side as well. I'm a kind of guy who likes the details on cars, and sometimes you may not see those details in person, but if you're not a nerd like me, maybe you don't notice them. But if you're a nerd like me, you notice the details. But what non-nerds notice is when you come up to a car, wow, that looks really sharp. And sometimes it's those little details. Out front here, LED lights, again, we'll show it all to you in person. You do have an N-Line badge, so you can see that's a little bit more special than some of the basic models there. Again, lighting you've seen, it'll filter through here. We'll show that closer to the end of the video. But just an overall great look to the car. And I think that's really the reason you're buying the N-Line is the look. But there are some reasons to buy it inside in looks and features. So let's take a look at there right now. All right, somebody said they heard negative reviews regarding this. Well, here's the thing, just so you know, negative reviews, positive reviews. I tend to be positive on our cars because I like them. I will point out things I don't like, but my job is to present the car to you, and then you can decide if it's right for you. So, you know, I'm excited about what I do. I like my job, so I tend to be excited about the cars. This car has not been cleaned, detailed, anything else. I do have to apologize for that, guys. I tried to get it to you as soon as possible, and if I waited an extra day or two, I was concerned it might sell. And with inventory the way it is, this is the way it works. So, did my best to get it here. Inside, of course, you got this red stitching throughout. Nice soft touch areas all the way through here. I really like this door panel. It's got a few different things that, again, make it look special. You've got a sort of rubbery feeling up top. This is not hard plastic. That's a bit of a rubbery feel. Then you have a little bit of a plastic, I don't know if I can get the right angle here, a little bit of a dark chrome, reflective black, dark chrome, or black piano, dark chrome. So this is nice. And then you have a fabric, nice leather. Everything is soft touch. It feels very luxurious. It looks really sharp. It's well thought out. And then down in here, a cloth leatherette mix. Now I say leatherette because I haven't checked. I'm pretty sure it's leatherette. But you can see nice, really sort of a tough fabric, which I kind of quite like. And then of course on the side, red stitching, red piping. And even the red piping has extra detail. I'll see if I can get it to you down here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's got a little bit of, it's showing up much more almost black and red in person and sort of gray and red in camera, but it has some detail. It's interesting to look at, and I love that. Same thing with the steering wheel. Red stitching on the steering wheel, the N badge on the steering wheel. Again, more interesting to look at. The big thing you're gonna notice if you own this car is right here in front of us. We're gonna hit that push button start right there. The digital dash, we've seen this in the Santa Cruz, and you get on the N-Line here. Let me just turn this off. All right, so you're gonna see low fuel comes out, warning lights come on, they take over the tachometer, which is kind of a nice thing, you don't miss things. And, but this dash is excellent. So I am the kind of person who prefers the analog gauges. There is so much clarity to this dash that it almost looks, I wouldn't say 3D, but there's some depth to it. It looks real. And it looks like real analog gauges, but you gain the function of, for instance, switching the drive modes here to different looks along the way. And sport mode, of course, to there. So, and even the sport mode here, it's got a carbon fiber look into the gauges here. Again, doesn't film well, but looks pretty good in person. And even little things you can do, like when you're in this normal mode here, as the speed, you can see there's a little bit of blue lighting right on the bottom here. As the speed picks up, that blue light kind of follows the speedometer there. It's just very, very well done. In addition to everything you have in the center, which is what you would have anyways if you had a standard dash. We've always been very good about the center dash here. This is your all-wheel drive gauge, so you can really see how your all-wheel drive is doing. It fills in with bar graphs, those grayed out sections beside, so you can see where that power is. So lots of questions coming through. Don't worry, guys, I will get to them in just a few minutes here, so continue to ask them. Don't think that I'm ignoring you. I will get back to them as soon as I can. So again, a lot of things in here. One of the things I really like about this car is it's got some ambient lighting, so I just want to show you that. It's hard to show you. You can go down to ambient brightness, ambient light color. We're going to go down there. Polar white and moon white. I don't know if I can see the difference, but we're going to cycle through some of these. I'm going to read them to you. Where's the best place to film it? Maybe just over here. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty easy to see. Let me zoom back out a little bit. So you can see right now I've got it on, what is it called? It's called Sunrise Red. We'll go to Aurora Purple here and Lightning Violet. So again, you can really kind of see there's true changes in here. Polar white comes through. Let's see if the camera switches polar white and moon white. Yeah, okay, I can see a little bit of a difference in there. Ice blue in here, and there's an ocean blue, which again, not filming perfectly, but you can see there is a change color, jade green. So pretty cool jade green compared to orchid green. So really cool, there's 10 colors in here. Freesia yellow, I think we went through all of them actually. And then we got sunrise red, we'll just leave it on the sunrise red for now. So pretty cool, that ambient lighting comes through there. It also comes through in this area here. And again, it just looks sharp. It gives you an extra feeling of sort of specialness. And I think that's important in a car like this. Certainly even when you're getting to the price. I'm not saying this is a higher priced vehicle, but I just think in modern cars, when we get to this kind of price point, we should feel special. While I'm looking at myself, check out above me. Isn't that cool? That is a huge panoramic roof. I don't really know how to film this, but you can see above me it is massive. In the back panel, it is also massive. Front panel to me is larger than the rear panel, but it really gives a feeling of specialness. Some people want to see that open, so we're going to open it up. It does not open all the way, and people are like, oh, I want it to open all the way. The reason it doesn't do that is it would be very bad buffeting if it did. So they've designed it aerodynamically to be kind of perfect. Lots of light above you. And of course, it also has an opaque cover where we could shut it down. And if I shut it, whoops, if I shut it the whole way there, you're going to see that cover rolling back. It's going to wait for a second. Then it's going to keep coming. So nice opaque cover. When that's closed, not only do you have better sound insulation, no echoing off the windshield or off the sunroof there, you also get a little bit more privacy. So I'm going to open just the shade up again, just because I think it's cool. And again, one touch opens the whole shade powered. It's just a really good design. All right, let's dig into here. Now, this only has the 8-inch screen, but you're going to like the 8-inch screen if you want satellite radio and Bose audio and AM/FM with HD radio on that. And then you also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it's wireless. So really good system here of kind of the perfect mix. The 10.25-inch screen does come with factory navigation. It does not come with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay at this point. I don't know if it'll be added. I am chasing that question down, and so far I haven't been able to get an answer from Kia folks. Maybe Hyundai folks will have it for me soon. But just really, really good features on this car. A good balance, because you want a nice stereo in this car, and this one has the top stereo in the vehicle. A couple of little things I like. You see it on the Santa Cruz, if you get the green interior, you get some orange striping exactly like this. Well, this is red striping here on the N-Line only. I should also show you the back of the seat here. When we take a look, that one thing I forgot to point out, the seats are the same as in the Santa Cruz, but you do have that N in there. And the plastic around it is just almost a soft touch plastic. It's hard to describe. It feels kind of nice. So overall, touch and feel of everything in this car is excellent. Okay, take a look at a couple more features here. I'm gonna go look all the way up. There's your Blue Link system. So I almost called it Evo Intelligence. That's Kia system. Of course, you have your tow truck, your SOS, but really what that means is on this car, you have the remote start capability from your phone. You can lock it, unlock it, find your car, a whole bunch of other things you can do in there. So all on your cell phone app, and that tells you that you have it. One other thing we're gonna do, let's just look up here. Oops, wrong way around. Here we go. The LED lighting in here is the white LED lighting. And if you've never had a car with that, if you still have the incandescent bulbs in your thing, then you're gonna find that the white LED lighting really stands out. Somebody says video quality is not good. They used a different word. I apologize. Hopefully it's good. If there's more people think it's worse than usual, let me know. Hopefully it's your end, not my end. If it is my end, we can switch it in a second here. We're not full HD just because the way YouTube's app allows me to go live. That's the way it works sometimes. All right, coming down here, let's show you the auto climate control. Now, everybody has an opinion about volume knobs. This one has a volume knob, and everybody has an opinion about all this touch stuff. Now, I want to show you the touch stuff, the way it works. If I have it set to the auto, essentially you don't have to touch anything. What you can do is you can adjust your temperature right here for the driver and passenger, or just the passenger over here. So the buttons you're going to touch the most have physical buttons. Down here, you've got the buttons that you'll touch less often. I really like this diffuse function. First of all, let's just show you. You can hear the fans loudly right now. We're gonna turn them down. So it's still setting the automatic. It's automatically going to 21 degrees. It's automatically deciding the fan speed. It's automatically deciding where to put the air. I've just slowed it down. It'll take longer to reach 21 degrees, but what that does is it allows us to have a little bit quieter interior, a little bit of less rush of air. Now, if you go to the diffuse function, you can see it drops it to your feet and the area. And this is really cool. This is one of my favorite features of this car. Instead of blasting it through the vent over, whoops, I'm having trouble here. There we go. Instead of blasting it through the vent over there and the vents over here, you can see the little perforations through the center. And what it does is it diffuses the air across the whole front of the vehicle, including over here by the driver's area, a little bit of diffusion over there, and over the vents over here, and by your feet. It's such a smart little thing that moves the air of the temperature that you want throughout the car without blasting that air in your face. So it kind of feels like just a cool breeze or a comfortable breeze blowing across you. Really, really smart. All right, guys, we're gonna go take your questions right now. I'm gonna show you a lot more in here. Ask your question now. Do me a favor though, we're a little behind in likes. We got about 80 people on. I'd love to get to 80 likes on this video. We're only at about 30, so you guys can help us get there. Hit the like button right now for me. I'm gonna show you a couple safety features, then go take your questions. So here we go. Safety and comfort features. Let's take a look down here. I'm gonna turn the climate system off again. Heated seats, rump roasters as I like to call them. And again, on cloth seats that are gonna work a little faster. Heated steering wheel, standard, hill descent control, rear view camera. We didn't show it to you earlier, might as well show it to you now. Really wide angle, really clear. You can see every line in the floor. Excellent, well done, Hyundai right there. Down here, heated seats as well. Then you have the auto start stop at a stoplight. It can do that. Drive and terrain modes. So if I hit the drive modes or the terrain modes, we can cycle through them. Smart, sport, normal, and eco in the drive. And then if you're Americans, you probably don't get this, but we also have snow, mud, and sand modes. So really nice to have those modes as well. We'll talk about the all-wheel drive system as well. You do not have to set this to snow to have all-wheel drive system work well in the snow. What happens is if you're in snowy conditions, you can set it to the snow and it will do a really good job of adapting stability control, all-wheel drive system, throttle response, all kinds of things for the snowy environment. So it just optimizes everything. It works exceptionally well. Now, a lot of people find this to be controversial, and to be honest, so did I. The push button start, I will say it clears up the space nicely in here. It is in logical order, reverse, neutral, drive. In the Ioniq, for instance, it's in a, or the Kona, I think it's the Ioniq. It's in a weird layout that's hard for me to use. Auto reviewers are going to hate this because they get in a new car every week and they have trouble learning new things. I used to be an auto reviewer and I can criticize them because I used to be one. If you own the car, it's going to take you about a day and a half to get used to it, and then you'll find it to be not to be a problem. It does take a little bit of adjustment, but you will literally not even think about it after about a day and a half. The other N badge in there, electronic parking brake, you have the stitching on the armrest over here. A couple things I didn't point out, on this slanted area down here, that is where your phone sits, and it can quick charge down there. You also have a 12-volt port over there, which has a nice door in front of it to hide it, and 2 USB ports. So again, the wireless charging right here, you can see it right there when it's charging. Really, really well done. All right, we're gonna be a little long in this video, but I'll do my best. We'll go through. Let's take your questions right now. And make sure that we're going through the things that you want to see in this car. I am going to show you rear seat space, trunk space, and lighting. Those are the 3 things I need to get to. The rest of the video is going to be guided by you guys. So you guys are going to tell me what you want to see in the comments, and I'll do my best to show it to you as we go through. So do me a favor, guys. Like I said, we are not just a review channel. We can pull this car in again and again and again. We're only limited by the inventory in stock. So if you like this vehicle or vehicles like this, subscribe, hit the like button. We'll keep going. Do you believe the Sportage will have an N-Line? Not an N-Line because the Sportage won't have Hyundai's area, but we'll see what they have. They may have a GT version. We'll see. All right, greetings from Finland. Got a lot of people from all over the place. Somebody says the reverse lights are too low. I don't know if that matters as much anymore with backup cameras anymore. It still lights up everything you need to see, and most of the time we're using our backup cameras. They're bright enough to do the job, so that's a styling thing. Heads-up display you guys were talking about. This car does not have that unless I missed that. No, it doesn't have that. So no heads-up display. Palisade end, maybe. Be kind of cool. You guys are suggesting that. Okay, you guys are concerned about the reverse lights. I don't think I am. Let me keep going through here. Will the US version be the same as this, or will it have some difference? Usually the US version is a little bit different than ours, but usually our videos are close enough to give you a pretty good sense of what's going on there. Somebody says, nice Kia t-shirt. Yep, I work at the Kia dealer, and we film at Brantford Kia Studios, so I'm almost always going to be wearing a Kia t-shirt, whether it's that or not. Okay. Okay. Some people had issues with my internet. Love the red accents. With the push button for the gears, can you stop the car with a foot on the brake and open the door? Will it shift to park? I haven't tried that. I know in our electric cars, you open the door and it shifts right to park. I haven't tried it on this car. I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that one. Okay, will the US version have the exact features? We covered that, not sure. All right, so here we're gonna go. Rear seat space, which is excellent. Trunk space, which has some features on this model that you may not expect. And then we'll keep moving on to the lighting, which I really wanna show you because it's unique in this car. We're at about 48 likes, guys. We were gonna go for 80 today, so we need about 32 likes out of you guys. You got 82 people on, and that's only people that are on right now. We're gonna have 300, 400, 500 people on this video throughout the video, so let's see if we can get to that 80 like number. We're up over 50 now. Let's keep going and see what we can do. All right. Have some fun here, jump in the back seat. Now I have the driver's seat set to where I needed it. Rear seat is excellent in this car for one main reason. You've seen me get in the Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz is based on the Tucson. I fit in the Santa Cruz, but it's nowhere near like this. So here's me jumping in. Headroom, no issues at all. I've got tons of room, especially with that panoramic roof. Now, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I'm leaning a little bit forward. We're gonna show you how we can fix that and what we can do with that in a second. Legroom is what I'm really interested in. Legroom, first of all, my legs are on the seat the entire way. I can move my legs around where I need to, but check this out, immense. Like this is supposed to be a compact crossover or a small crossover, whatever you want to call it. It is large, and I can tilt my seat a long ways back here. And while we're here, let's see if we can show that in there. There is a cargo cover in there we're gonna show you. You can mount it to different spots. Remind me to show you that when we get back there, because if you mount it too far forward, I can't lay back like this. And I don't know if you can see the angle, but I'm leaning way back. In fact, I have to put the seat forward to feel comfortable. So really good seats there. Let's take a look at what you have over here. A little bit piano black. We still got some shipping plastic in here, including on there. So if the trim doesn't look good, it's because it got plastic on top. But you have, again, the red stitching through there, cloth seats with red accents on the bottom there. And then you've got the cargo net in here. If you want to charge your devices, both passengers can charge your devices. In the rear, you can fit 3 back here, but let's be honest, most of the time it's just 2. You've got USB and USB, and then this trim does have the vents here, which again, people like to see that as well. So really, really good knee room here. I mean, just way more like a 6-footer sitting behind a 6-footer. You used to not be able to get comfortable in compact crossovers. Now you can. And again, the big feature back here is it's hard to show on camera, but when I'm looking forward, all I see is panoramic roof. Like, it's just amazing. Above my head and over, it's a really, really good. Is it best to buy the self-charge hybrid version? I happen to like hybrids. I think they're more efficient. I really like the look of this car, so it depends on what you want. The hybrid is a little bit more expensive than this, has some nice features, but it just depends on what you want. I prefer the look of this one, but I'm saying that as an advocate for hybrids, so it's just gonna depend on what you're looking for. You can watch our hybrid videos and see if they make more sense for you as well. All right, jumping in here, let's take a look at the rear end. Again, we will get to lighting in a second. For now, we're just gonna pop the trunk. Easy to pop open. Very low load floor in here, and a lot of just tall space. It's very, very good that way. We mentioned this cargo cover. I have it in this position right now. It could be in that position there, but then I couldn't put the seats all the way back. And this seat can come all the way back to touch, and I don't know if you can see, it's already back a long ways from that seat. Like, it's beyond my wristwatch. So, I mean, we're talking beyond my wristwatch to there is the extent. You could still sit 2 people comfortably there and have it upright, but that's fairly square. The space in here is class leading. It's very, very good. And then under the floor, you do have that spare tire there. The floor can actually drop a couple inches here. I don't know if you can see, you know, there's my finger there, so it can drop from sitting on here to sitting on there. I'm not gonna do that because I have the mats in there, but even without dropping it, just immense amount of space. The one thing that is nice about dropping that floor just a couple inches is if you have something really large, you can keep your cargo cover in place and put it in there. And then of course you also have a 12-volt port over here. Again, hidden nicely behind these new style doors, which I quite like. And just to be sure, I have a feeling, yes, underneath that panel, you can take this cargo cover, and that panel comes off. You can slide it in underneath that panel, underneath the floor, and underneath there. So remember how we used to always have to leave these cargo covers in our garage when we went to like Home Depot or Lowe's to get something big? Now it can slide underneath the floor and fit into the side so you don't even see it there. That's really smart. Speaker in the back here, again, that's Bose audio, so really quality sound system in this car. Lots more to show you in the sounds in the infotainment system if you wanted to see it, but we're gonna keep moving through and we're gonna go lighting right now, and we'll go back to your questions in a second. So we're at 58 likes, we're getting closer to 80. Still going for 80 likes, still got about 80 people on. So let's see if we can get 22 more people to say, hey, this is worth a like. I appreciate that you're giving some effort today. Or maybe this is a different video than you've seen before. Let's see if we can get there. We're almost at 60 now. All right, turning the lighting on. I'm also gonna do signal lights. You guys wanted to see signal lights. Some of you feel like they're positioned wrong, so let's talk about that. And you can make your own decisions about that. There we go, signal lights up top. So really cool dash again. This one does not have the surround view camera, so these ones don't turn into camera views of the side in the like they would in the higher level Santa Cruz. You do have the nice bright LED lighting in there. The car's beeping right now because I've taken the key in my pocket but left the car in the on position. All right, out front here, I do have the headlights on, so this is a little deceiving. When you have the headlights off, those are your headlights there, these are actually brighter LED lights. So they're actually dimmed down a little bit. They're hard to film sometimes, but I want to show you the headlights for one reason and one reason only. They're blazingly bright. Now, when you're gonna have crazy bright headlights, it's important to keep them low so they don't shine in the window of something else. If you had a full-size pickup truck with lights that bright, they can shine right in your rear window, right in your mirrors. Down here, you can make them blazingly bright. And then, of course, you can also have that bright. Now, this coloring is off. It looks more yellowy in my camera, but you can see a nice sharp cutoff line, nice wide camera or wide view there. And that is really important to have the LED lighting because it gives you daylight type color. That daylight type color makes it really easy for your brain to identify what you're seeing at night, which helps for quicker reactions. In addition to quick reactions, the car is capable of doing things like lane keep assist, lane follow assist. The car is able to steer for itself down a lane. Now you're still in control, it's still your job to be in control, but the car has a camera right there and it can follow the lane markers, it can follow vehicles in front of you, it can keep itself centered in the lane. And if you keep it centered in the lane, or if it's keeping itself centered in the lane, that makes driving easier for you. It also, because it has that camera and because it has the radar plate here, has several levels of advanced collision avoidance systems. So what that means is it can see the cars coming in front of you, and it is capable of coming to a complete stop on its own if you're not paying attention. I should have pointed out one quick thing in here. When we talk about lane follow assist on the dash right here, lane follow assist is right there, but also the smart cruise control. So when you set the cruise control, you can keep your distance between other people. So you saw the LED lights out front there. Let's check them out back. This car looks really expensive at night because it has a real 3D look to the lights. If you look at the current Toyota RAV4, it's a little circle, just a little circle. They could have filled the light with really good stuff. It's a boring little circle. This looks really good in real life. And you can see it's really bright and clear. Now, let's talk about these so-called controversial signal lights. First of all, you know, your brain knows that these are attached to those cars. If you can't see these signal lights, the only time you couldn't see them is if you're stopped behind this person and you've come way too close because your hood's this close. If that's the case, you don't need to worry about where they're signaling, but I guarantee you if you're that close, you can't see it here, but I can easily see it in my plain eyes. That is a really bright LED light right here. So you will see that light blinking if you're behind the person and you are driving, which is in the position that I am in right now. I'm lined up as if I was the driver of the next vehicle. So you will definitely see those lights. Is it controversial? Yes. Having them down there is controversial. Is it my favorite styling thing? No. Is it a problem when driving? It's just not, guys. You do see that. You do see this. When you're following this car, I would be extreme tailgating right here behind the car. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, you'd have to be NASCAR style drifting to not see those lights. And in that case, the placement of the lights is not their safety issue, it's yours. So there's that. Are the exhausts real or fake? Those are real. They have a dual exhaust in each one. So those are real pipes in each one. Good question there. Interesting that they're doing red down here. Used to do yellow in the past, but again, you can kind of see it there. It's very easy to see that bright light there in line with this. And again, your eyes can see it much better than the camera can. So all of you people giving me a hard time, I get it. It's not your favorite thing. It's just not unsafe, and it's not a problem to have them there. It's just not our favorite thing, and I'm with you on that. It's not my favorite location either. All right. Okay, so let's go back. Looking for 11 more likes. I think we can get there. I'm going to take your questions right now. I give you guys a half an hour of my time. I'm only asking that you guys do this. Hey, Peter, will there be an N version? I don't know. See, I didn't think they'd go as crazy with the N-Line as they are, or with the N as they are. The Elantra is out in the N. We'll see that soon. The Kona is out in the N. We'll see that soon. The Veloster is still in an N. So the N, of course, is that racetrack style performance. I wouldn't expect to see that in a Tucson, but they did the Kona, so I don't know. I don't expect it, but it's kind of cool that they're doing stuff like that. All right, still fishing for 10 more likes. We'll see what we can do here. Do the red parts on the rear side bumpers light up, or are those just reflectors? So if we're talking these here, those are just reflectors. Everything along the back pretty much lights up. You've got your backup lights down low in there, which again, we mentioned, they give enough light out the back to have your backup camera. This section here is just a reflector, so again, in that, we'll see that. Hey, Peter, are there any N-Line hybrid version of Tucson? I know it released in Europe. Not that I know of, not a hybrid N-Line Tucson. The other thing is, if you see these lights flicker a little bit, it's the way they interact with the camera. They are LED lights, which is the nice, sharper, crisper lights, and I'm really a big fan of those. So let's come back here, take a couple questions here. Wow, 80 might have been too big of a goal. I thought we could get there. So Santa Cruz is the same chassis and has a 2.5 turbo, so maybe they could put the 2.5 turbo in the Tucson. Maybe. I think in theory that would be possible. I don't know that it'll happen because that hybrid gives you plenty of power, and I think they're going for efficiency more so in this vehicle, whereas the Santa Cruz, Hyundai doesn't call it a truck, but they understand that people are going to use it like a truck, has 5,000 pound towing capacity. So that is something that I think they're going to leave in the Santa Cruz and probably not put it in here. I think you're more likely to see the hybrid make its way to the Santa Cruz than you are to see the turbo make its way to the Tucson. So there should be 2.5 liter from Genesis to complete with, okay, maybe Genesis. Where are we here? Just going through your questions. I think we covered that. Kia version gets something like the N-Line. I don't know if Kia has something like the N-Line. What is the gas mileage? That's a really good question. So gas mileage is actually listed right here for you. 9.9 in the city, 8 liters per 100 kilometers in the highway, 9 liter is the average. And of course, this one has an 8-speed transmission. Somebody asked for pricing. MSRP is $37,299, which we did show earlier in the video, comparing it to other trim lines and how it kind of blends out. So those are good questions. Well, hitch option and towing capacity. Good question. You can get a hitch for this. It can tow 2,000 pounds. I just bought a new trailer, finally got a trailer I've been looking for, and my trailer is about 1,800 pounds. So technically it could tow my trailer, although that's at the limit, but a lot of trailers you could tow this, 10 trailers, other kind of things. Have you heard any updates? Oh, okay, so let's go off topic in a second here. Let me just, if you just asked that off-topic question, we're gonna go there in just a minute here. We'll get that for you. Let's just answer a couple more on-option things. All right. Somebody said they recently point out to a car reviewer about location of the lights, Can't see if you're tailgating. I got blocked from commenting. Yeah, I don't tend to block people from pointing out stuff that makes sense. The only thing I just get frustrated with is when people give me a hard time, like I designed the car. When they say it's a safety issue, it's just not. You can see the lights up here, and if you're that close that you can't see this on a vehicle of this height, then you are tailgating. The problem is you, not the car. It's not my favorite. I'll give you that. It's I'd like to see them up here as well. They didn't do it. It's not a problem. This be equipped with the 10-inch information screen. Yes, not this N-Line. You move one trim level up and you can get that 10-inch in the center as well as in the cluster. One thing that's confusing in the specs when you're reading it, we used to just say 10-inch information screen and it was right there. Now they have a 10.25-inch screen here and you can get a 10.25-inch screen there. But that one, of course, is on the higher trim line. So keep in mind, at this point, 10.25-inch information screens in the center have wired connection for Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Somebody asked on the Kia K5 GT, will they be offering a software update to get the 10.25-inch screens, wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay? The short answer is the very highest levels of Kia Canada know that I've asked that question. Just gonna leave it right at that. They haven't got an answer for me yet. They know I'm looking for an answer. I'm not the first person they're going to tell. They have to tell other people what's going on first, but I will get that answer. They know I'm looking for it, and I'm not the only one looking for it. So good question about that 10.25-inch screen. Can you do a YouTube session on dealer negotiating? Yeah, people have asked me how to do that. Here's how you do a YouTube session on dealer negotiating. I am a dealer group. Just buy from our dealer group. I know that we have worldwide reach now. But for me to say how to negotiate, it's different with our dealership, right? Like I know you guys are dealing with, on the Santa Cruz in some areas, they're charging $10,000 over MSRP. We don't do that here. So some of the dealer negotiate, me teaching you how to deal with negotiations with other dealers, sure, I could do that, but we don't do that stuff. So it would just be misleading. Oh, here's how you get a deal. Like we just don't do some of the stuff that these other dealers do. So if that doesn't deserve a like, I'm not sure what does. Okay, blind spot cameras in the dash requires a 360 camera package. Yes, that's correct. If you could get 360 camera on this car, you would probably get the blind spot camera in the side, but we don't have that here. We do have that in the Santa Cruz. The reason I keep mentioning Santa Cruz is there's a shared platform. Now they're very modified, but they are a shared platform, and there's a very almost identical interior in that car. So there is a lot of similarities between this car and the Santa Cruz. All right, somebody pointed out we're at 77 likes, almost 80. We are gonna wrap this up so that we did. Can I get a Korean version of the car? If I could, I would do it. We are based in Canada. We're dealing with inventory stuff. COVID's still going on, travel's tough. So if I can ever travel around to take a look at other Kia stuff, I will. We do film in the Brantford Kia studio here with Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai. So you will see local stuff that. Which one I prefer, Santa Cruz or this? Personally, Santa Cruz. I have a pickup truck. I want a pickup truck. I like the open bed quite a bit. I will say this car and the Santa Cruz drive very well. Some magazines, Motor Trend I believe, criticize this for a lack of speed. It is not the fastest one in the group, and that's fine. The hybrid and PHEV are going to have more torque, more power. That being said, I think for the way 99% of people drive it, not Motor Trend editors who like to race supercars, for 99% of the people, I think you'll find it plenty peppy. I think you'll really enjoy it, and it really smooths out the bumps. It's a very refined ride. It's really good that way. All right, guys, we're gonna leave it right there. We made it to 80 likes. You guys are awesome. Thanks for doing that. Tomorrow, we're gonna try to pull in the Kia Carnival EX Plus. Now, there was some confusion about that Kia Carnival when it first came out because it had more features than some people were expecting. Kia's actually, their original brochure was actually incorrect on that car. So we found here at the channel, at the dealership, a number of things that are on that car. We asked Kia about it. Next thing you know, a correction was sent out. I'm sure I didn't find it, but a correction was sent out. So we're gonna talk about the Carnival EX Plus tomorrow. It's a car that you will probably have to order. So I wanna make sure that you're ordering in confidence that you can get that car. We got a lot of stuff coming up this week. We just launched a Kia Hyundai class last Friday. Kia Hyundai classes are 3 to 5 minute videos showing you how to use your vehicles. We have a lot more of them coming. So do me a favor, guys. I'm hoping to earn your subscription. That's what I want to do. Hit the subscription, hit the like button, and tune in tomorrow. We'll be live again, 2 o'clock. Thanks everyone for joining us. It's been fun. We'll see you then.